Welcome to Kinnor Classics International, Idara.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure to have you with us today.
It's a pleasure to be here.
Well, we'd love to hear more about the upcoming concert, Echoes of Carnegie Hall, if you'd like to share with us.
I'd love to. What would you like to know?
Well, one question we have is, how do you deal with an entire concert of arias as opposed to an opera?
Yes, well, like you said, in an opera, you get a lot of time in between each aria, a lot of time to relax, to prepare yourself for the next climactic moment of the opera. In a concert, you have to jump from one to the next, and then to another one, and it's very taxing. Not only physically, because you're doing the most challenging selections from the opera, but also emotionally, because you have to be able to change your mindset from one character to another character, and really just seconds really in between each one. It is a challenging and exciting thing to do, an entire concert full of arias, and one hopes that they can bring the audience along for each one and get the right emotional feeling across to the audience, and again, do it all within a split second in between, and no costumes, no sets, just on the stage. It's very exciting, and it's also a very intimate setting to be able to do all these arias so close to your audience, and just with the accompaniment of a piano, and it's exciting.
Sounds very challenging. Idara, another question Kinnor Classics would love to ask you is, how do you make an aria your very own?
I think firstly I would have to say your emotions. Nobody has the same emotions as anybody else, so it will make the performance unique just because you yourself are singing it.
Certainly it takes somebody with a lot of emotion and freedom of expression to be able to do a performance like this.
Yes, and once you get that all figured out, very often embellishments will come that are unique to yourself, things that would be natural, just things that naturally flow out of you when you sing certain phrases, and for instance, if you're doing a very melodic line, very dramatic or something like that, it's your decision on how long your retard will be, or how long you will pause on a note, or even in a rest, that will be very unique to oneself. And just like in the other side, if you're doing something very, very happy, perhaps you'll add lots of trills or different runs or some staccato notes, or things that would just feel natural to you to produce when you're doing that.
Well, certainly I've heard a lot of that come out in your past concerts, and so I'm very excited to hear how you make these arias so unique to yourself. And as an artist, I'm sure that you're very excited because of the creativity that you're able to express. So
Yes.
We're really looking forward to that.
Same here.
Idara, when it comes to an accompaniment, do you have a preference to piano or orchestra?
I think both of them have their setting, the right place to do either one, but for the arias and the opera, I think it would be more beneficial to do with an orchestra, because that's the way the composer had written it to begin with.
That's correct, yes.
And it does help a lot to sing with an orchestra for different stylistic things. They have so much more variety of sound coming out of them, between strings and winds and percussion, and so it does help you in portraying your character a little more to the audience. So in this concert coming up on March 1st, obviously, it will be with piano accompaniment, kind of in a solo recital kind of setting, and it's a little bit more, what makes you feel a little more like your voice is kind of naked out there. It's easier for the audience to hear every little thing that you do.
Right, which could be a benefit.
It can be a benefit. You definitely have to be ready as an artist and as a performer. You definitely have to be perhaps a little more ready when you perform this.
To the critical ear, for sure.
Right.
I have heard many concert arias with orchestra backups that have had the orchestra almost cover the singer, the artist.
Mm-hmm.
So you're right, I can see being out there on the stage with just a piano.
Yes.
You're very vulnerable, your voice is very vulnerable.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm confident that from your performances that you'll excel.
I think the audience can have fun hearing either one. You know,
Mhm.
as long as you as an artist can cover all the bases all by yourself, you know, without the help of, say, the flutes helping you sound bird-like or something
Mhm.
like that. But I think that the audience gets a very up-close and personal a performance of all these arias when you're just accompanied by piano.
Well, we look forward to any performance you do, whether it be with piano or orchestra.
Thank you.
Another question I have, Idara, is does it take much energy for a performance?
Oh my goodness, yes. A lot of energy. It's exhausting to do, physically exhausting and emotionally exhausting. It's one of those situations where the audience hopefully will never know just how tired you are and how much work goes into it. But it is very tiring.
Well, I know there are some fans out there that come just to hear you perform and to see your performance, because it's quite amazing the amount of effort that you put into these concerts. And
Sometimes you feel a little bit like an athlete.
imagine it's like running a marathon when you have to do
Mm-hmm.
several concert arias in a row.
Mhm.
And these are the showpieces of these operas, so
Yes.
they're meant to be everything, the final
Mhm.
act and with the final performance.
And if you withhold a little bit of energy, the performance will definitely fall flat. So each piece, you have to give it your all. You have to give it everything, and hopefully you have enough energy to last you through the whole concert.
Amazing. Very good. Idara, how do you choose a concert program? And what made you choose this repertoire for this performance?
Well, a lot of thought goes into choosing a repertoire for a concert. You've got to take many things into consideration. You want a varied program, yet complete. You want it to have from one extreme to the next of emotional content. You want it to have simplicity, some melodic simplicity lines that the audience can relax to, and you also want to have the showpieces. And then after you think about those types of pieces that fit into there, then you have to plan when they will be in the concert, so there's a nice long flowing line, and nothing's distracting, nothing feels or sounds out of place. They need to flow nicely between piece to piece. And then you also have to take into consideration your own vocal cords, and when will they need a little bit of a break to get ready for the next piece. Not a break as in, you know, you get to stop, but just a break that you have some more melodic lines that you can somewhat rest your voice on each note, and then you're off to the coloratura stuff again. So a lot of thought goes into that.
Well, I was fortunate enough to take a sneak peek at the repertoire and the program itself, and it seems like these pieces you've chosen are going to be spectacular, and I'm sure the audience will be quite enthralled and enjoy the performance fully.
I hope so.
One last question for you, Idara. Could you tell us a little bit about the roles that you'll be performing in this concert?
Certainly. Well, I'll try. There's a lot of them. One that I'll be doing is Lakme. It's a French opera, but it's got a hint of the Far East in the sound and the melodies, and very beautiful, very charming. And also we'll be doing Carmen, so you'll have that Spanish habanero flavor in there. And then the simplicity and purity of melody from the Bohemian Girl. And I'm very excited that I'm also going to be doing a duet with Micah Hunter.
Oh yes,
and we're going to do
bass baritone, yeah.
We're going to be doing a selection from Don Giovanni.
Oh, wonderful.
And also another one will be from Puccini's Madame Butterfly.
Wonderful.
And the selection that's going to be from that opera is going to be the song just before the death scene, the last song that Butterfly sings before she takes her own life. It's an extraordinary piece of music. In fact, I can't even listen to somebody else perform this without tears coming to my eyes. So
Yes.
there'll be a very, very wide range of characters that will be presented that afternoon.
I remember hearing Kinnor Classics, and it's very, very emotional. So,
Yeah.
yep, I'll have to hold it together too as I listen to you. But you'll also be playing some violin pieces, am I
Yes.
correct?
Yes.
And some of them are pretty technical, and so I'm sure the audience will be very surprised and pleased to hear you perform Zaguna-Weisen, is that correct? And then you have another one as well.
Well, there'll be a few selections, including a Beethoven romance and a Jewish piece, Nagun. It's extremely dramatic. And actually, I will also be doing a duet performance with Wai Mitsutani. He's going to be performing with me on a selection that I actually composed myself.
Ah, yes, Velde.
Yes.
Yes, and a lot of people don't know this, that you actually have composed music yourself. And this is your original that you'll be sharing with them.
Yes.
So a kind of a highlight and showpiece of this particular concert will be you sharing your original piece. So I'm very excited to hear that as well. I also understand that Micah will be doing a solo
Yes.
of his own,
Yes.
as well as Y. So sounds like a very exciting and varied program, and we're all ready to hear some of the best classical music that's ever been presented here in this area. So good luck, and we thank you for coming and joining us, and we know it'll be a success. The Echoes of Carnegie Hall concert coming March 1st at 3 p.m. and that's going to be at the Glacier Performance Hall, and right here in Kalispell. So looking forward to that. Thank you, Idara.
Thank you.